Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Victoria. You can call me Vic, and today is a self-care day. Today is a day for relaxing. I'm going to be chilling. As you saw, I've already cooked myself some brunch. I made Eggs Benedict, which is one of my all-time favorite brunch meals. When I first found it at restaurants, I decided to learn how to make it at home because I was spending too much money at different little cafes. And so this is my very basic home-style version of Eggs Benedict, but it works for me. I think it's super tasty, and I thought it would be the perfect way to kick off this day that I just really want to be focusing on doing cozy things and just things that I enjoy, things that relax me, just kind of giving myself a day to rejuvenate because the work week starts tomorrow. So I need my last day to really soak in all of the relaxation, really give myself a break, and I wanted to bring you guys along with me. Now you can't really see my plate because there's not a lot of space, but my plate is here. So I'm going to finish up eating my breakfast, and then I think afterwards I might start watching a movie. I have a few fall movies that I've really been wanting to watch that I just haven't had the time for recently, so that's what I'm going to do after this. But let's get to it. Hey guys, so just a quick update. I'm in the middle of reading Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice. I've kind of been in like a horror mood recently, and the last horror book that I read, I really didn't like all that much. So I kind of wanted to find something that was maybe a little bit more reliable, that more people had said was super good. And Interview with the Vampire was at Barnes & Noble, and I know so many people have said it's a really good book, and I've actually watched the movie and I really liked the movie, and it kind of has the vibes that I was wanting. And so I am maybe a little bit less than halfway through this. I just got to part 2 if you've read it before, and it's such an interesting book. Like the way that it's written, of course, is like interview style. It's very formal, like very old English sounding, and it's just such an interesting read. Although I will say some of the dynamics of relationships in the book kind of throw me off a little bit, but so far it's been a really interesting read, and I'm curious to see how it progresses. Although I've seen the movie, I don't really remember much of it because I saw it a long time ago. So I'm hoping if the book, you know, keeps going well, I'll be able to finish it, and then maybe I can watch the movie after and kind of do a comparison to the book. But I was surprised because after I started this, I realized that there's more than one book, and this is like a series apparently. So Interview with the Vampire is just the first book. I've never heard anyone talk about a second book or the fact that it's in a series, or that there's a whole like vampire universe that Anne Rice created. So kind of interested to see where this might lead me, if I want to dive more into the series or not. But it's really good so far, so at least to where I'm at, I would recommend it. It has a lot of like dark academia vibes, almost very classic vampire. So I've recently started filling out this workbook that I got from Barnes & Noble. It's an astrology workbook. It's called Guided Astrology Workbook, a Step-by-Step Guide by Stephanie Caponi. And I've always been super interested in astrology. I can recognize that horoscopes are not accurate. And honestly, the deeper I've gotten into astrology, the more I can see that in the astrology community, horoscopes are frowned upon as well, because they take very small pieces of astrology and present them as the whole. And so I've just been really curious about it and getting to know more. I know a few basic things, like I know my sun, moon, and rising, and I've looked at my birth chart. I don't know what it means. I've just looked at it, but I see stuff, and I've gotten readings from people before related to astrology, and I just wanted to like know a little bit more about it since it's so fascinating to me. But it is so technical. It's supposed to help you break it down piece by piece and do these exercises within the book to really understand what you're learning, to understand all the different concepts, and at the very least be able to understand your own chart and what your own chart says. And so I've started it a couple of days ago, and I've really been enjoying filling it out, but it's just really fascinating to me, and I like getting to learn a little bit more about it and just know more in general about the signs, especially since me and my friends always talk about astrology, but we don't really know a lot about it. It might take some time, but it has been a lot of fun just getting to fill this out. If you're curious, my sun sign is Leo, my moon is Scorpio, and my rising sign is Sagittarius. And I don't know what that all means together. I know what people have told me when they've talked to me about my birth chart before, but I'm still learning, so I can't make any deductions on my own. But it's been fun. For where I'm at right now for beginning stages, I would recommend this because it is breaking down terms that I've heard but didn't know what they meant, and really helping me to understand by filling out exercises. I am feeling a little bit hungry. I think it's like 5 o'clock maybe, but I think I'm going to make chicken spaghetti for dinner. It's like a really big comfort food. It's so delicious. It just takes a little bit of time to make, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that. That way I won't be too hungry by the time it's actually done. Hey guys, so I just finished my bath and it was honestly exactly what I needed. I'm not normally a bath person. It was so nice. It helped me actually physically relax all of my muscles and relax my body, and I'm so soft and smells so good now and I'm super relaxed. So it was just honestly just what I needed, and it was a good time to be able to read my book, play on my phone a little bit, and just really practice that self-care. And every time I do take a bath, I always get really introspective and I start thinking about different things, and not necessarily like a meditation, but really close. And especially with the candle lighting, I think it just really set the mood for me. So that was definitely what I needed. I went ahead and blow dried my hair since I do have to go into the office tomorrow, just to make my life easier in the morning. And I think I'm just gonna spend the rest of the night watching some YouTube videos, just cozied up in bed. I did make myself a hot chocolate, so I'll probably sip on that a little bit, especially since my throat is starting to feel a little bit sore. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for me. I'm just gonna spend the rest of the night in bed.